How's it going, everybody? This is Cameron White with White Light Astrology, giving you guys your weekly forecast of what the heck is going on in the universe. Thank you guys for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing to all my videos, and I appreciate and love all of you. Always send you guys a lot of abundance, a lot of white light, all that good stuff. This week, January 14th through the 21st, what the heck's going on? We have a big new moon going on, and starting off on Monday, we're going to have the moon entered Capricorn actually like earlier on Sunday. However, Sun will be sextiling Chiron, the Moon will be sextiling Neptune, and it will be also conjunct Mercury. And then Mars is going to be quincunxing Uranus exactly. So Monday kind of just kicks off with that whole new moon vibe as the moon goes into Capricorn. You know, what are we setting our intentions towards? Where can we really use more like strength, more detachment from the emotions, and not necessarily the avoidance of them? But I was using this analogy tonight in my class for this whole new moon in Capricorn of, you know, detaching away. You know, if you show up to work, you got all these emotional issues, you got family drama, you got, you know, this and this and that going on. Just being able to detach and focus on what's in front of you, focus on working, focus on, you know, what needs to be done, and taking a step back and, you know, just diving into it, I guess. Being able to really not let your issues consume you, the emotional aspect of things, the sentimental aspect of things, and just really focusing on what really needs to be done and how hard you can really work is really going to benefit a lot, is really going to pay out really big with this new moon as well. This theme of, you know, what we have to work towards, what we have to, you know, get focused. It's a lot to kind of bear, especially with Saturn being with Capricorn and all of this. Just there's so much in Capricorn right now. But as the moon goes in through here, you know, it's gonna feel like you maybe don't have enough. Like everything's just going on, and you're trying to just keep it all together. However, with this new moon, you know, it's time to really focus on the work in front of us. Take a moment to put your all into something. Focus on something. Figure out what it is that you want to create. Figure out what it is that you want to build, what you need to, you know, grow. I mean, yes, this has a lot to do with the Saturn and Capricorn energy, and I know I kind of just went straight into the new moon aspect. However, as this new moon kind of happens, it's going to conjunct Saturn and Mercury. This is when we, you know, really get serious. This is when we get emotionally invested. This is when all of this conscious energy, all of this thinking of, you know, what are we doing, where are we going, all of this Mercury and Sagittarius stuff, it's now in Capricorn. We got to do something with it. Are we using what we learned? Are we really moving forward and building things? And as it conjuncts Saturn, this is, you know, it's confusing almost. I mean, with all this other Capricorn stuff squaring Chiron as well, and also sextiling Chiron as well, you have to keep in mind that this isn't going to be easy. This isn't going to, you may not feel this confidence right now. We're with this, I feel like Neptune and Chiron are just doing so much work on this, because we have Venus sextiling Chiron, we have Chiron still fucking squaring Saturn, pardon my French, but still squaring Saturn. It's still squaring Mercury. The moon is going to be squaring Chiron. As we go through all of this, open up to receiving in ways that you weren't expecting. You know, things don't always have to look the way that you want them to be. You have to realize when they're there. And then this new moon energy where we're all setting our intentions for the next year, no, some of us for the next 3 years with the Saturn and Capricorn energy, this is about, hey, what are we wanting to do? And let's actually do it. Not just set this intention, not just, you know, be with, but feel it, do it. What can you do to embrace that feeling? Where do you need that nurturing, where you just need the experience of the hard work, where you just need the experience of focusing on a project, focusing on some aspects where you're not worried about the emotions, you're completely invested into that. That's this new moon in Capricorn energy. And we have a lot going on, especially with Mars and Jupiter right here. With Mars and Jupiter sextiling this new moon, it's going to be sextiling, it's still sextiling Venus, still sextiling the Sun, still sextiling Pluto. The way that we're going about this is changing so much of what we've established our structures and our systems on. So much of what we're doing is so emotionally raw, and it's with Jupiter right here, it's kind of like hard to see it that way. It's like this just doesn't feel like it's supposed, this almost doesn't even feel right. It almost doesn't even feel aligned. Like things may be off. Things aren't, you know, grounded the way that you want them. Things aren't looking the way that you expected them to, you know, look. A lot of that energy is going to be going on this week, and you have to remember that that's okay. Like, it may not look the way that you want, and you may be very confused as to where you're at right now, but this new moon, focus on something. Take all that confusion away for a second, and what can you do to implement this new moon energy of, You know, what are our intentions? What are we really wanting to build? What are we wanting to create? And actually doing something with it. This Chiron energy, you know, we're still dealing with just the very last bit of it. We're still really wrapping up, you know, the other realms to, you know, our spiritual selves, to the higher self. It's like, you know, all of this understanding that we went through as Chiron's been through Pisces is finally wrapping up, and we're finally starting to, you know, do a lot of healing work. But with that, we're still realizing more pain and more sensitive issues. And Neptune is just making this such a confusing aspect, because we still have Neptune sextiling a lot of this energy. And as this kind of goes on throughout this week, you know, it's going to feel different. We're going to be stepping into a whole new kind of world with this. And especially as the moon conjuncts Pluto, what is that, on Wednesday, I think? Yeah, on Tuesday, as the moon conjuncts Pluto. Let yourself do something different. Let yourself get out of your comfort zone. Let yourself become vulnerable. These are the things that are going to give you that establishment of what kind of systems that you want to operate under, what kind of infrastructure you want to lay out for yourself. Do something different. Do something vulnerable. As the moon goes through Aquarius after this new moon, Venus will enter Aquarius. The sun will enter Aquarius. This is when we're finally going to see the bigger picture of things. As the moon goes into Aquarius, it will be squaring Jupiter and Mars. Don't, you know, again, you may want it to look a certain way, and it doesn't have to look that way. It may look a lot different. It may be a little bit overwhelming. You may want to, and you may be holding on to that, especially as the moon goes through Aquarius and this Mars and this Jupiter and Scorpio. Sometimes things have to work in very unorthodox ways in order for them to work. Sometimes you have to look at things through a very creative eye in order for them to resonate with you. So you're not so resistant to your reality. You have to sometimes manipulate the way you look at things. And this is one of those times. As the moon goes through Aquarius, squaring this Mars and Jupiter energy, it's going to be like, you know, there's so many different ways to approach this. There's so many things that you do want to go and create, that you do want to go and feel. But what's more true for you? What is more aligned? What is where your energy is at? You know, don't waste your time on things that aren't really for that best effort. You know, get down to the nitty gritty. If you're going to do something different, do it fucking real. If you're going to go out of your comfort zone, get real out of your comfort zone. And then the moon will go through Pisces, conjunct Neptune, conjunct Chiron throughout the end of this week into next week, when the moon goes into Aries on Monday. And as this moon transition happens, this moon over Neptune, this moon over Chiron, you know, take all of this into consideration, what we're going through. Take all of it. And Venus and Sun are going to go into Aquarius this week too. That's another big deal. We're not going to feel so limited. We're not going to feel so stressed. We're not going to feel so, you know, we're stepping into Aquarius season. This is when our true artists come out. This is when we're, you know, people, I feel like people during when Aquarius season starts, is when people start dressing nicer in the winter. Like, I don't know, there's just something about it. It's like really Leo, like really preposterous. But as Venus and the Sun go into Aquarius, we're starting to see a whole new reality of what we can create, a whole new vision of things. This is when we do have to get out of our comfort zone. We don't need to be isolating or alienating ourselves. This is when we want to be with a group. This is when we want to be connected. This is when we want to see things different. This is when we want to see that liberalism, that humanitarianism things come out. This is when we just have to see things in a different way. And I feel like that's what this new moon is about, and it's kind of like, I guess the best way to put it, it's like this new moon in Capricorn is gonna feel like you're signing a mortgage while you're like really messed up on like drugs. Like you took a ton of acid and shrooms on accident, and now on the day you have to sign your mortgage or whatever, and it's just a lot going on. It's like, it's so confusing and overwhelming, and I gotta be doing this one strict thing, but my emotions, my mind is everywhere, and that's okay. Get it done, you know. This is the time to go, all right, this is what needs to be established. This is what I need to focus on. And it may feel like it's confusing. And you're going to feel that way. But let yourself embrace that. Embrace the fact that this may not make sense. We're having Jupiter and Mars in Scorpio right now. This is about taking leaps of faith. This is about trusting the universe. This is about going out of your comfort zone and really sinking your teeth into what that truth is and living it. And as the moon goes through, you know, Pisces, it conjuncts Neptune, conjuncts Chiron, we're going to see a lot of emotional changes, a lot of emotional understanding, a lot of, I guess, intuition really come up. So as the moon goes into Aries next week, during this time, really embrace everything that we've really been through for like the past 2.5, 3 years with that Saturn Sagittarius. Embrace that by going, what can I do right now? What can I really grow from? What can I really build from? And how can I focus more and more on that energy? And how can I really trust this process, even though it's really scary and it's hurting and it's a lot and it's confusing? And that's what I got for you guys, you know? I kind of, I wanted to do this, day by day thing, and it's just not resonating right now. This is a really, I don't know why, this just kind of came up to me right now. Like, this seriousness of this is really, really big, and this is going to be showing results for the next 3 years. This is the first new moon with Saturn and Capricorn in. First new moon in Capricorn, I should say. We got a couple more, like, what, 3 or 4 more? I don't remember. Or 2 more? I don't remember. But this, it doesn't have to look a certain way. Just know that it is happening, though. Just know that it is going underway. Everything is going according to plan, but this is the time right now where the universe likes to make things really confusing and put things on a big fog in order for you to really trust that you're dedicated to what you're emotionally investing to what you're personally investing to, and to what it is that you truly want. That's what I got for you guys. So thank you guys again for watching all my videos, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Facebook. I love every single one of you. All of my tags are down below, so check those out. Again, thank you guys so much. You guys are going to do great through this new moon. There's a lot to change, there's a lot to do, but let's get to work, I guess. So thank you guys again, and I'll be seeing you guys next week.